Good morning, welcome to the Olympian Table. And we got some items for you this morning. My name's Steve Williams and I'm host of the table. And I'm here with my good friend Kay Johnson. How you doing, Kay?
I'm good.
You living the dream?
I am doing the best I can.
The best you can. Anyway, we're going to talk about some unruly Americans this morning. And I'll be honest with you, it really pisses me off at times how Americans go to other countries and they don't abide by the rules in the other countries or show any respect to other countries. And it sort of upsets me a little bit because if somebody from, Britain comes over here, then we should respect the rules and the regulations or whatever for, in America. But first of all, we are going to discuss an American who's abroad, who basically decided to go up in a balloon, and then when he's 3,000 feet up in the air, decides that he's going to jump out of the balloon and do himself a skydive. So do you want to take it from there, Kay?
So, if you guys can see, the guy's just like, hey, stop. Like, this is not...
He could have tipped the balloon over and all sorts of stuff when he jumps out of it.
Yeah, because it's not like a plane. It's by weight,
Right.
Even the plane,
You've
planes
got
are
to
by weight.
distribute the weight out. That's why they traditionally use sandbags.
To get out and... I don't know how hot air balloons work, but if he would have jumped out, that's like an extra 180 pounds.
Well, I've been in a hot air balloon once, and I found it pretty frightening.
Because they tilt a lot,
Yeah,
right?
there's a lot of movement there.
Yeah.
And if you imagine the wind, you have a gust of wind, then the balloon leads, do you understand? And the basket follows.
Yeah, see now. And I'm just thinking about the fact that, yeah, if he hops out of the hot air balloon, it could just start
It could turn
rising.
upside down. I mean,
Yeah.
all sorts of things. But I thought the pilot of the hot air balloon stood his ground very well.
I mean,
And I just thought it was very arrogant, to be perfectly honest, of the skydiver just to think that he could just pull, a fast one and say, oh, I'm jumping out at 3,000 feet.
right.
Well, no, you don't pay for a partial flight. You should pay for a full flight. That includes a landing, a takeoff and a landing.
He did really well. He was like, I'm not letting you out of this. And then the guy's like, let me go. That doesn't, no. If he lets you go.
Who would have had the responsibility if anything happened to any of the other passengers? Would it have been the pilot or would it have been the skydiver?
I think definitely it would have been the skydiver, but it's still like, I mean...
See, I don't think so. I think it would have been the pilot.
The pilot would have...
Because the pilot's the one that's probably got the insurance and all the other
That's
stuff.
true, too.
But
I hate the reasoning what the guy said. He's like, well, let me do it. We have you on video saying that you tried to stop me. Let me do it.
That's a great reason. It's a plane on that. It's a pretty long video.
It is pretty long. But it's pretty much over. Yeah, I just think it's very, very ridiculous and very disrespectful for, him to think that that's something that's
I don't
okay.
want to sound like I'm picking on Americans, but that's one of the reasons why a lot of people abroad are very weary of Americans. Because they pull shit like this.
I mean, it makes sense.
You were saying there was another instance where, someone was taking a photo.
Yeah, someone was taking a video of just people chopping
Coconuts.
Yeah, coconuts in a different country with a machete, and the guy was like, hey, don't record me. I don't want to be recorded, you know. And
Well, in some countries, they don't want you recording things. It's against their religion.
mhm.
Like India, they don't like you taking photos of. You're not allowed to take photos.
My mom will not. My sister's a TikToker, and she takes a lot of like photos and videos and things like that. But my mom's like, do not take a picture of me. Don't put, you know, photos of me online. My sister has one picture of my mom online, and my mom has no idea that it's on there. I haven't told on her, but my mom does not like any photos taken of her online. She hates it. Like I'm trying to get her to do a family portrait in traditional attire just so that we can have it, but she really is like, do not put, just don't do that. So it's very much like a thing.
Yeah.
But the woman who was in the different country, she was like, I'm doing my First Amendment right, and the guy was like, this is not America. Like,
Right. So she's in India, they're cutting coconuts
yeah, and
with machetes,
they're like,
and then the guy basically pushed the camera away, correct?
yeah, he pushed the
Said,
camera
"Don't
away.
film."
It's like, do not do
He said,
that.
this is my First Amendment right.
Yeah, which
Well,
is
you're not in America.
in Japan, it's also, you know how it's legal for us to record anything in public, you know? In Japan, it is illegal to just record in public. If a police officer says don't do it, you
Well,
cannot
in
do
Russia, it's not allowed.
it. Yeah.
You can't record in public.
See, I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like,
China is not allowed in public.
of course,
After the election, America could be
the only place that you can record in public. I just think that you know, if we're gonna go to different countries, you are there to explore different countries' cultures, so you should abide by their cultures.
Absolutely.
Like if I go to,
It's a courtesy.
yeah, if I go to Abu Dhabi, you know, I'm gonna have to cover everything up. You know, that's how people are, you know, supposed to be. It's,
And that's the way it should be.
yeah, I
You know,
think,
respect people's religion and cultures and everything else.
yeah, even if you think that it's dumb, just, you know, why are you there then? Why, you know, you can't.
Well, show an interest and a respect for one another. If you're in another country, that's really what it's about.
Yeah, and
The women should cover up, and
Hmm.
you know,
it's
and
really
in some ways, it's part of the
the experience, really.
yeah, and the jazz, if you want to, like visiting, you know, Dubai and stuff.
hmm I think,
But some people don't cover up in Dubai.
no, they don't, because Dubai is like, this is so off topic, but this is so, maybe it's more on topic for what we're going to talk about later in the podcast. But a lot of women, like social media influencers, get flown out to Dubai. I want to go to Dubai so bad because it's decently affordable if you're not in the actual city of Dubai. But I don't want to go because of the stigma. If you go to Dubai as a woman alone, men in Dubai, the rich men, because that's, you know, where the richest Saudi Arabian princes are and things like that, they pay women from overseas to poop on them and to just do terrible things to them. And it's like $15,000 they pay them. And that's like, that's what they
If they go to
do.
Paris with the Olympics, they can do it for free.
They get paid, they don't get paid at all. But yeah, so that's a thing that happens in Dubai. That's why, you know, one of the
Go to
reasons
Dubai and get shit on.
that for 15 grand, hey,
Anyway,
if you're desperate enough.
I think we've spoken about poop enough so far on this podcast.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about Great Britain has an election coming up on July the 4th, which I think is such a funny date to have an election on. American Independence Day.
That's actually very funny.
And what's that?
That's actually very funny.
It is. You know, so next Thursday, July the 4th, when we're celebrating American Independence Day with all our fireworks and glory and good old-fashioned barbecue, what are you going to be having on July the 4th, Guy?
I don't know. I've been wanting hot dogs since the Joey the Joey situation. So
The Jerry situation.
the Joey what is
Oh,
yeah.
okay, the Nathan's hot dog.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Nathan's hot dog situation.
Well, anyway, while we're doing that, in Great Britain we'll be doing a general election, and it's predicted that Labour apparently are going to win on a landslide. But what's been going on in the background is the ministers have been betting against one another, whether they lose or whether they win. So that's a little bit like insider trading, or as Katie explained it to me, That's a little bit like betting against yourself in a basketball game.
Hmm.
You know, it's in your interest to lose and not in your interest to win. So what's your opinion on that, Kay? As
Um,
an American looking in,
I think that, I mean, I don't think that it's right because, like you said, it's insider. It, it's it's just insider trading,
it's definitely not
realistically.
in the interest of the people
Yeah, and why? I mean, I never would have thought that you'd see gambling in
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 politics.
politics. Like that's so weird. Um, I just don't realistically why, you know? Um, but it says that two candidates, they conservatives have withdrawn their support. Um, Craig Williams, who I cannot pronounce this. I don't understand why British and Welsh words are like this. Glindweir.
Welsh is Gaelic and it's such a
What is
it,
Glindwr? It's got a little squiggly over the.
that's Welsh.
Well,
That's
how
the
do you
Welsh language. The
pronounce
Welsh
it?
language is Prince Charles speaks Welsh. We better ask him. We'll get him into the podcast and he'll let us know.
But yeah, and Laura Ann Jones as well. So it looks like they are, but it seems like five candidates in total since as of
But they
20
shouldn't
minutes
be
ago.
allowed to compete in an election if that's the case.
They really shouldn't. I think that, it's
You
kind
know,
of,
I mean, it's the same with, politicians over here. They seem to have, or they want to get their hands in everybody's pockets.
mhm,
I think it's something that we've got to stamp out.
yeah.
He ended up by voting for Trump in 2024, but at the same time, we with the Conservatives, I think you've got it more. But saying that, the Labour seem to be up to it as well.
Yeah, everyone. And I'm really,
So,
why was this just the thing to do?
the person that I really think is off his rocker
Hmm.
in England is Nigel Farage from the Reform UK Party. He's the one that got us out of Brexit, which was a huge mistake,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just off his rocker.
I
Off his
just,
rocker, Nigel Farage. Anyway,
why? What do they, I mean, obviously, I know what they get out of it. They get some money out of it, right? But
well, talking of money, let's move on to the next article.
the guy,
This is a guy who decided he was going to run for mayor in 2021
Mm.
in the mayor race, and he was a video YouTuber.
yeah, he's a YouTuber.
So carry on with the story.
So there's a YouTuber. His name is Nico Amalana, and he's actually a really popular YouTuber. I don't know if he wasn't as popular at the time, but he kind of got famous by like trolling the English National League, which was like it's kind of England's version of the Proud Boys essentially. And so now he used that to kind of go and try to get essentially just try to get people to vote for him for the mayoral election, which
Which was in what, 2021?
yeah, in
How much
2021.
money did you raise?
I actually don't know. He didn't mention his budget, I don't think, but I know that it was like less than $50,000. But his campaign was,
Well, here's some of the things on his manifesto. Introduce a stop and serve, which will include free school meals. Employ more policemen to put them straight into the Houses of Parliament, as that's where all the real criminals are.
Mhm.
Any McDonald's with a broken McFlurry machine will be shut down and turned into low rent housing. All racists will have their teeth removed. If an elderly person or pregnant woman isn't offered a seat within a minute of getting on the London Underground, they get to drive the train the rest of the route. free transport for under 18s and over 69s, uni students included. The EDL will be deported to Poland and taken off our streets so they can learn what it's like to be an immigrant. Citizens in Poland will be given legal access for guns. The second I will be added to the London Eye, so it becomes the London Eyes. Big Ben will be renamed Big Ben Clock, so it qualifies as a BBC. 3/4 of the length of trousers to be banned. Death penalty for anyone who wears them. Freeze the River Thames and allow people to ice skate across while Hammersmith Bridge is being repaired. Prince Andrew to be banned from going within 4-mile radius of any school. VAR will be banned from the Premier League along with the Glazers. Raised minimum wage by 6.9%. Turn off all power in London once a year and call it Lundoff. Anyone who clapped for the NHS but still voted Conservative will be forced to practice in an annual purge. Immediately liquidate the Sun newspaper and use all proceeds to fund youth clubs and community centres. EID, Christmas.
Eid.
Eid. What's Eid?
Muslim holiday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eid, Christmas, Diwali, Yom Kippur, Valley Sky, to become bank holidays to celebrate the culture of our great city. Price of the Frito to go back down to 5p.
So, some of it obviously is a joke, like the one Don and the Lundoff.
What do you mean? I like the one about Hammersmith Bridge. People like being Olympian and an ice skater. I like it. They can skate across the Thames.
I like the I like the what is it, the London Eyes, so they can see the vision. That was really funny to me. But if you click the link above, Stephen, there's it actually shows like all the information about how he did and everything during the election.
The Nico Defense League.
Yeah, so that's what he calls it. But yeah, if you click that small link, there's no embedded.
And he's a Pakistani bus driver, immigrant bus driver who won 55.5 popular votes.
No, that's the actual mayor.
He's the son
mayor.
of a Pakistani.
Yeah. No. That's the actual person who won. Khan is the Sadiq Khan.
Okay.
Yeah, but he won 55%. And then the prankster, he's 2%. 2%, which is
50,000 votes.
Yeah, that's a lot because he beat the person that he wanted to beat realistically. And they're actually the biggest independent party in London. Because of that now. Ever since then they became, I mean, he's not doing politics anymore, obviously, but he
made a difference.
He made a big difference, and after the video, because I watched the full video recently, and it was actually a really good video. And the point of it, he just wanted to kind of bring awareness to younger people because he felt like, in the UK they weren't being spoken to. They weren't. He was just trying to show the power of the younger vote, because if you can get, if you get 50,000 of them to vote, and I think he only ran like 6 weeks before. He only started to like push his campaign 6 weeks out of the actual campaign. So I thought that was really interesting, and it kind of made it a really good point.
There's a mix there, though, because I mean, it's like my two kids. I begged them to go vote, and they will not go vote.
But I think
they just can't be bothered to get up off their backsides and get out and vote.
Right, but also there's also candidates that they don't resonate with.
They don't. I don't think it's that.
I do, because I don't resonate with any
They
candidates.
they don't show any interest in politics.
Because they don't care. Because there's nobody young enough or that has like
I
that same.
I don't think
As a young person, I'm just saying, like as a younger person, that's a lot what a lot of it is. It's the fact that that was his whole point. It's like they're not being spoken to in politics. A lot of the time, we're not.
I agree with that, because when I was 24, 25, I didn't show any interest in politics.
I don't, because it's not. I mean, it's not.
All I was bothered about was going to work, putting my money in the bank, buying myself a nice car.
Let's see. I don't know. I think that I definitely think that it has a lot to do with the fact that you have to also include them into, if you want people to care about you, you have to talk to the people that you want to care about. Like that's something that's kind of really important. You can't be upset that people don't want to support.
That guy in the balloon, he didn't really get upset.
But yeah, I thought it was interesting. You would have gotten that angry? You're like, get the heck out of my balloon. But yeah, I just thought that this was really funny and interesting because of the fact that, I mean, hey, if you can if you can get people to do that, and he was just really making a joke out of it. He was wearing kids sunglasses. He was doing all of the
mature about it.
Yeah, he was being just a total whatever. But I thought it was funny because he tried to get the BBC to interview him. He stood out of the BBC forever just trying to get them to interview him, and he was originally at 50,000 to 1. Like nobody was gonna vote for him. That's what everybody thought. And then about halfway through, he went to
America. Though I cannot understand. It's a bit better in Europe, but I cannot understand in America why you've only got the Republican and the Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you do, an interview or whatever. I don't, I mean, now they've got this thing where they turn the mic off. But, as much as I don't like him, Kennedy Jr., I think he should be up there. I think the Green Party should be there. And there's a black guy that, is a head of a party as well. I think they should all be up there.
Yeah, I think, what is it? RFK. People like RFK, but he's also very confusing. I don't know. He's weird. It's weird.
Sometimes his voice should be,
Yeah, I think everyone should have a chance, and that is what I like about the UK.
On TV in Europe, I believe that they used to have like 8 parties or 9 parties on the stage.
Yeah, it goes by whoever's in like the top percentile, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So, but yeah,
I'm from Wales originally, and I'd like Lloyd Cymru, who's the Welsh party, to take Wales, because I'm all for Wales, and I'd like this. I love Scotland, and I would love the Scottish National Party to take Scotland.
So why can't you decipher this Welsh for me then?
Well, Welsh is I think there's about 5% of people speak Welsh.
Yeah, because it looks
and it's
crazy.
And the thing I didn't agree with it, but I can understand why they did it, was about 20 years ago, it cost millions of dollars to have signs that had Welsh on and that had English words on for road signs, and we're talking millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And about maybe 5% of the population speak Welsh.
Yeah.
A lot of people in Wales don't speak Welsh.
I can imagine.
Especially in the
crazy.
Especially in the south part of Wales.
The only thing I know about Wales is the long.
It's beautiful.
The very long word. What is it?
Oh,
Yonga.
the name of the train station.
Yeah.
Lang, gong, gong, go, go, go.
Yeah. That's gotta be a joke. I'm sorry. That
No, it's not. It was the longest name for a reason, but they did it for a tourist to attract tourists there.
I would go there just to go to
But
that
to me, the
city
go, go, go is to the polite way of saying get out of here.
because there's nothing to see
Yeah,
here.
but
People say that there's nothing to see there,
there
so
is, there is. It's a tourist thing, but where I'm from in Wales originally, where the big pit is in Zuniga.
that's so funny. But
Anyway,
but yeah, I thought that that was really funny. It was funny, and then we can watch the video later, like the full video of him just kind of going through because it was really, I think it was good. Someone, Karen, went up to him and cursed him out, kind of while he was in the thing and at the final counting. And she was like, I think what you're doing for young people is terrible. You're not supporting them. You're
isn't it the
making this a
lovely guy?
mockery. Yeah, yeah. So I'll,
Yeah, if you become a YouTuber, I mean,
yeah,
people are allowed an opinion.
yeah.
Expect to be hammered.
It was so funny though.
Let's
But
let's move on to Paris.
Paris, speaking of
Olympics.
politics,
Paris Olympics. We had mentioned a past um, on a past podcast that we've done that people were pooping in the Seine because they didn't like the amount of money that France was spending on the Olympics, and they thought it was a total waste of money. And part of delivering the flag was basically the delivering the flame, the Olympic flame, was that swimmers apparently somehow was going to swim it across the Seine, which I thought was pretty cool. But a group of people decided to put toilets so people could go in there and poop on the Seine, which I don't think is environmentally friendly. Basically, so you was telling me, Kay, they put off the way they're going to get the flame across the Seine.
well, they weren't. It wasn't to deliver the flame because it was supposed to be um last Monday. I think they were supposed to do it last Monday. So they just did it because they wanted to show people that it was clean enough to swim in. It's the president, the president of France and the mayor of Paris. They were going to be the two people to swim. So that's why people were upset too, is because they were like, they wanted to poop on politicians and they were like, you're only cleaning it up because the Olympics, we've been asking you guys to clean this for years. Now you're just trying to make the city look nice, things like that. So yeah, they're not pooping anymore. Can you say the title of this? Can you?
Parisian poop protest postponed as politicians parry poop plans.
That's a lot of alliteration. I just thought that the poop 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 poop. Didn't say that 5 times fast. But they said that it was because of political reasons. They refused to acknowledge the whole poop fiasco. They're just saying that it was for political reasons, but we all know why they decided not to swim that day. Is because they didn't want to get pooped on. I mean, and people were planning on doing it. Someone actually made a website, Stephen, of where they were going to be and what time you would have to plan your poop so that you'd be able to poop while they were passing. That's literally how
I mean,
big it
French
was.
people are known for nudist beaches and being very open. But can you imagine seeing that? I mean, people pooping in, dropping the drawers and pooping in them things, isn't they? So I don't want to see some of that.
It's so ridiculous. It says
It's like, come on, French people, get it.
they even said there were maps with water flow measurements um to pinpoint exactly where people would need to poop and when to ensure their feces would make contact with the politicians at the time of their swim. They said that it's still they even paused the cleanup of everything. It says it still contains dangerously high levels of bacteria, which are almost guaranteed to make athletes sick if they spend extended periods in the river. Now officials are in a race against time to ensure the water meets standards by July
I can't
30th.
understand. What is it achieving? Because if the river's been in such a mess all these years, and now they could use the Olympics. Do you understand? Yes, they should have fixed it before now. But they could use the Olympics as a way of actually cleaning it up. All they're doing is going against what they originally wanted in the first place.
Very true. I think
it's just a ridiculous. It's like, what do they say? You can please some of the people all of the time.
I don't know that I can't remember that saying.
Please some of the people. You can please some of the people all of the time.
You can please all of the people some of the time, and some of the people none of the time. Something like that. Yeah. But I can't remember that saying. But yeah, I just think it is a little bit ridiculous because it's almost like they're polishing a turd. To be honest, it's all, because more than likely after the Olympics end, they're not going to upkeep that cleanliness, so that's probably also why they're upset, and it's taking a lot of taxpayer money to clean up the river. So people are upset about that, and it's connected to their sewage system. The river is connected to their sewer system, so it's kind of like, there's no way, unless they completely reroute the sewer system, and it's also, a little bit ridiculous to expect Olympic athletes to swim in that water anyway. If I was an Olympic athlete, I don't know that I would want to swim, in that water, even after it's quote unquote clean. So it's one of those things where it's like, it'd probably be cheaper to just build a swimming pool at this point, and they only have 1 month left before the Olympics to make sure that it's up to snuff anyway, so it's pointless. But since 1929, I believe, it has not been swimmable. So it's been over 100 years that it's just been that filthy. And you've got 100 years of poop. I'm not swimming in it. I don't care. I'm not swimming in it. You had you got poop in there older than I have. That's no thank you.
I'll tell you one of the swimming in it.
Yeah. So there's a reason why people are upset, but hey. And people are really worried though that Paris is not going to be ready for the Olympics now, because that was supposed to be where they were going to swim. So they are going to have to find some way to kind of expedite some things. So, but they say that they still plan on doing it. I don't think that they're going to announce it though. They're probably going to announce it, that day or something. But yeah.
Anyway, I guess that's it for today.
That's all we have.
That's all we have for one day. That's enough poop for one day.
Right.
So from Steve Williams, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. If there's anything that you'd like us to talk about, please, by all means, make your notes in the chat, and Kay will take a look at them as she goes along. She'll be clipping some of the podcast that we've got now.
All the poop.
Probably put it in today, tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be great. We look forward to hearing from you. So, thanks for your time today, Kay. Do you want to wrap up?
Yeah, we are all done.
And we'd like to say thanks a lot, and we'll see you next week. Thanks so much.